Greetings, I'm Dike Rostant. Welcome back to the TTT News. We are going in on pensions, grants and other offerings under the Social Welfare Division, and for that, we are joined by Deputy Director Christine John Guy. Welcome, ma'am. How you do? Thank you for joining us. Ms. John Guy?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Now, I want to start off asking, what's the primary role of the Social Welfare Division, please?
Okay, Social Welfare Division is responsible for the provision of grants, financial assistance to our most vulnerable population. And these vulnerable include our elderly, disabled, and poor or indigent in our society.
All right, and because we have different categories, I'm sure there'll be different grants. So what are some of those grants offered under the division?
All right, so the division is responsible for 16 of the 22 grants offered under the ministry. The four major grants, we have 4 major grants, and we have 13 other supporting grants, or minor grants you may call them. Right? Our main grant that attracts the largest percentage of our population is the Senior Citizens Pension Grant. And that is offered to persons who meet the qualifying criteria stated in the Senior Citizens Pension Act. Right, this grant is legislated, it is the Senior Citizens Pension Act, and it can be found in Chapter 3202 of our laws. The 3 major qualifying criteria for this grant is the age criteria, which states that you must be at least 65 years old. You must be a citizen or resident who have been residing in the country for 20 years prior to the date of your application, and during that 20-year period, it shouldn't be absent for an accumulative period of more than 5 years. If you didn't fit that criteria, there's another one that you must prove that you have been residing in the country for at least 50 years of your life. And the other criteria, which is the third one, is that you must not be in receipt of income in excess of $5,500 per month. Right? So those are the 3 basic criteria that you require to fulfill in order to qualify for the Senior Citizens Pension. Another one of our other major grants is the Public Assistance Grant. And this is provided to our needy or vulnerable population who meet certain criteria as well. The criteria is that at least it's paid to persons who are aged 18 years or over and are deemed to be needy and medically certified as disabled from earning. That is an adult. The grant is also paid on behalf of dependent children whose parents are unable to care for them because of illness, imprisonment, or in cases of a single parent where the other parent has been asked to pay via a maintenance order and is refusing to honor that maintenance order. That person can be paid an assistance once the evidence is provided to support the claim.
And I like the fact that you're giving us a lot of criteria, Ms. Guy Johnson, and even quoting chapter and verse, and we really appreciate that. So in terms of to match with that criteria now, can you share some of the processes? So yes, from what you're saying, I fit the criteria. What are the steps that I need to go through to be able to avail myself of some of these grants from the division?
All right. So the grants, there are 10 local offices located across Trinidad, 1 in Tobago. You can visit any of the local boards that are located in your area to apply for the grant. So you apply for, most persons 65 will apply for the pension. You visit the office on your 65th month of your birthday, and once you satisfy the criteria, you apply either by a hard copy application form that you can drop off at the offices, or you can drop off, we have an arrangement with TT Connect where the application form can be downloaded from the ministry's website and emailed via TT Connect to social welfare. So TD Connect receives the application and then forwards that application. That's an online email application process, that an arrangement that we had with TD Connect from April of 2020 that came into effect. And it is working quite well. So persons who, because we know during this COVID time, persons may not want to leave home and the threat of COVID, can submit their application via that email process to us. The other applications, the public assistance and also our disability assistance grant, you can visit any of our offices to apply for those grants. And the grants are processed at the local offices, right? So you don't have to come to Port of Spain. There are offices located across the country.
Ms. John Guy, can you apply for more than one grant?
It depends. For the pension, an individual can only access one grant at a time. However, a person who is a pensioner and has a dependent can apply for the public assistance assist with their dependents. So the dependents may be children or your spouse. A person on disability assistance grant also can apply for the public assistance on behalf of their dependent children, because as a disability means that you are unable to earn to support your family, so you can get the disability assistance grant as well as the public assistance grant. And the food support grant also, persons who qualify can also access that grant, as well as our other supporting grants. Once you meet the criteria and the means test that is applied, once you qualify, you can get more than one grant.
And thank you for taking us through that. Now, there may be some individuals who have a latent distrust of the technology. It may be because they just don't trust it, or they may not totally understand it. So, and they may pose the question, if I drop my application in person, I'm sure you're going to get through faster than all this TT connecting you're telling me about. What would you tell that person, Ms. John Guy?
There's no fear, right? The process is the same. Once the application is received at the office, it will be processed, whether it's via online, via the email, or in person. The process is the same. The person will be contacted, interviewed to verify the information, and your application will be processed just as normal.
And no difference in timing. So is one faster than the other?
No, I wouldn't say. It's not faster. It's just that online, you don't have to go into the office. You don't have to face the crowds at the office. You don't have to line up, right? So it's an easier process online. But we know some persons prefer to drop it in person, right?
Definitely. Oh, but we continue this conversation with you, Christine John Guy, Deputy Director. We're speaking about pension and grants. Stay with us. We return with more. Welcome back. We are speaking with Deputy Director Christine John Guy about pensions and grants. And Ms. John Guy, the life certificate, what is it? Why is it necessary? What role does it play?
Right. The life certificate is a means of verifying that the applicants are actually, the applicants to whom the grants are paid are actually alive. One, and that they are seen alive. So at this time, because of COVID, we have suspended life certificate. We have an arrangement with civil registry, which we are working on, and there are some other supporting agencies that we need to collaborate with, that once that is finalized, that arrangement, especially the one with immigration that will to travel, then the life certificate can be done away with. At this time, it is suspended because of COVID, and persons are required to report to the offices to verify that they are alive. But at this time, it is suspended. So the pensions, the grants will continue, especially for the pension. That is the one that most persons are required to sign a life certificate for. The other grants, those are reviewed from time to time. So we do not have a life certificate on those grants, just the pension alone at this time.
All right, thank you. But drunk or sober, mind your business. I still want to give you the opportunity so people don't take my word, they take your word for it. It is still more than frowned upon to be trying to encash a check or a grant for someone who is no longer physically here with us. Am I correct in that, Mr. John Guy?
Yes, that is, and that is a fraud matter. All right. So persons are encouraged once their relative has passed away, they can inform the office, visit the office, drop off a copy of the death certificates, and if a check is issued after the person's died, we are encouraging you not to encash those checks because those matters will be referred to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service for investigations, right? Because we understand that a person who have died cannot encash a check. So we are trying to avoid dissuade persons from encashing those checks, right? You return the check with a copy of the death certificate.
All right, thank you so much. And you spoke of the collaboration between the division and TT Connect. What other evolutions in the system in the division have happened as a result of the pandemic?
But we have that, at this time, we have that one with TT Connect. We also have an arrangement with National Insurance Board. So persons we request that information. We have an arrangement, we request that in online as well. So persons don't have to go to National Insurance to verify the receipt of grants from that organization. We also have an arrangement with Civil Registry to submit the debt registration on a monthly basis. We get that. And we are trying to work out one at this time with the Immigration Division. So those are some of the actions we're working on.
Thank you so much. And the pandemic has pushed us forward in so many ways. And with regard to that, though, can you take me through once more the public assistance grant in terms of accessing the service and everything surrounding it like that?
Right, the public assistance grants, as I indicated, is paid to persons who are in need and unable to provide for themselves because of illness, which prevents them from earning, or we don't have for unemployment, but there may be other conditions that prevents the person from earning. A person visit the office located closest to where you reside, and you apply, and supporting documents will be requested, for example, a medical certificate from a government medical doctor indicating that you are disabled from earning, maybe for a specific period, it may be indefinite. So persons who have a permanent disability can apply for the disability assistance grant, and persons with temporary disabilities can apply for the public assistance grant. Right?
Okay, thank you so much. And I'm sure there's some sort of accountability that has to be built into the system. So in terms of a means test, is that something that takes place for these to occur?
Right, the means test is applied to those who have applied for public assistance, right? Because we use the means test as a means to determine need, right? It's the baseline for persons in need. So the means test is applied to only, at this time, public assistance and the other minor grants, one-off grants. Under the general assistance grant, the means test is applied to those. But for the other other grants like the pension and the disability grant, a means test is not applied to those. Also, the food support means test is applied to that as well.
If someone is unsuccessful, Mr. John Guy, is it a matter that is it, full stop, punto final? Are they able to reapply? What is that process like?
Right. So you applied and you were unsuccessful. you can appeal the decision of the local board. So there's that option. You can appeal to the central board. If you are still dissatisfied with the decision of the central board, you can appeal up to the minister. So we have 3 levels that you can utilize. Also, you can reapply for any grant at any time. So that's another option as well.
All right, and going back straight to the pension grant though, you said you can go in on the month of your birthday. Is it that at the start of the month, is it that you need to wait for your birthday to pass, or is just literally the month of your birthday when you're turning 65?
The month of your birthday, the date within the month doesn't matter, the month within your birthday, the month of your birthday. So we encourage you to apply the month because the pension is calculated the month after you apply or the month after your birthday, whichever is the latter. So if you wait until 2 months down the road after the birthday has passed, it means that you would have lost at least 2 months.
And I like the fact that you say that because sometimes you didn't apply and they say, but wait no, my money not coming because nobody waved the magic wand for you. So thank you for actually putting in that caveat as well.
Yes, yes.
Now, improvements, looking at the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services, what are some of the things that you have on the horizon and you can say, okay, well, look out for this is coming, we're working on it?
Right, the ministry at this time is working working towards an integrative process. As the client comes in, so we're hoping to work with the entire client and the entire family, moving them to a position of resilience. Right, so we go into a home, we recognize that there are a number of unemployed adults in that home. We try to work with the family through a process that is referred to as step up and see if we can move that family onto various different to build their resilience and build the capability of that family. So we are hoping to collaborate with other agencies that we can work with that family to move them forward and build their resilience.
All right, and in the last minute and a half we have, Ms. John Guy, the food support program has been in the news a lot lately and you started to speak about it. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more in this last minute we have?
Food support is really a means of providing temporary relief to persons who are unable to provide for food. So the purpose of the food support is to provide to meet the nutritional needs of persons in need. Right? It's a development. There is a developmental component to this food support program, and it's really providing temporary relief. So we're hoping that during that period, you can work with the family to move them off of the grant. So you encourage the family probably to register for employment and probably give some financial management training in between there. Probably encourage them to go into small business because the ministry also has a small business grant unit, which we refer to as the SEED program. So persons can work there and build their own resilience to move off of the grants. But the food support is mainly for vulnerable persons who are experiencing food poverty at a given time.
And we want to thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Serious work in a serious time. Christine John Guy, Deputy Director, Social Welfare Division, Pensions and Grants. And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, this has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. Thank you for joining us.